Welcome again to God's Union Marriage Ministry YouTube channel. Today, I'm with this beautiful woman, Zena Henry, my wife. And today on GUMM TC, hashtag GUMM TC, we're going to talk about session 7 of our new book, Intimacy, Growing Closer Every Day.
It's the thing I do.
Intimacy, Growing Closer Every Day. Now we're traversing through the book, making progress, enlightening you on stepping outside your box, being naked and unashamed, getting to know each other, growing closer, building a tight bond. It's unbreakable. And pleasing God along the way. Today in session,
main point.
Yeah. Today we're talking about I deserve to be happy. Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you really?
Do you really? Happiness is what we've come to find out is kind of based upon what's going on right now. But we want your marriage and your relationship to be filled with joy. That's something that usually doesn't go away as easy as the day changing. So let's talk about it.
Yes.
I deserve to be happy. Session 7 of our new book.
Do you really deserve to be happy?
Let's find out.
I don't know. So, first of all, I want to talk about maybe the purpose of our marriage. And so when we think about happiness and we think about our purpose, when we put those things together, and we're talking about the purpose of marriage being our example of Christ's love for the church, and then the church's reverence to God, that's the image or the representation of what marriage is. And so we have a purpose. We have a purpose to show the world Christ's love for the church by being a husband and wife, by being a Bible that some people will read before they even pick up the actual book.
With all the words in it.
Exactly.
Do, dust, and thous.
And so in that case, if we're looking at our purpose, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're always going to be happy. Because first of all, you're not always going to be happy in life itself. Even if you're a single person, you're not always going to be happy because we have trials. And when we look at the life of Christ, he wasn't always happy. There were some things that he was sad about. There were some things that he prayed to his Father about. When he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane and asked for God to take away this cup because it was just too much for him to bear. There were times that there were not happy times in Christ's life. Right. And not to say that we are Christ, but we are Christ-like. And we're supposed to be mirroring that image of Christ. And so when we're trying to show the world Christ's love for the church, we want to make sure that it's not happiness that we're seeking, because happiness depends on things that are happening around us. And those things can change at any moment.
At any given time, those things change.
But if we're depending on Christ, is where we get our true peace and joy from, then we'll know that I'll have peace and I'll have love and I'll have joy in spite of what's going on around us. So even Christ had times where he could say, I know that this is turmoil going on around me. I know that there are things that are happening that are maybe not in my control, because I know I have something that I'm supposed to be doing for the kingdom. And I may not be happy about it, but I can be filled with joy knowing that what I'm about to do is for the better of the world and for the better of God's people. And so what I want to try to encourage you today is to think about not necessarily being happy in your marriage, and so not thinking that I want to be happy based on my husband or my wife having this job, or my spouse having
a new purse, or I bought a new truck. I often think about some of the songs I listen to. So Fred Hammond said, Jesus built a fence around me every day. If that hedge of protection, that fence that Jesus builds around you, is his word and his way and his will, and you're being obedient to it and abiding by it, all those outside things that take away your happiness, so-called, don't affect you, and you just constantly have that joy knowing that he's protecting you and keeping you. To be kept by Jesus is amazing. To have Christ as a part of your life and your marriage is amazing. So you go past happy. Is everything hunky-dory all the time? No. But guess what? I feel good knowing that, hey, I'm a child of God, and I have been blessed beyond measure.
Yes.
And I've gotten way more than I deserve.
Yes.
Remember, as sinners, we all have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have someone in your life, your spouse, that you can pray with and they can support you through situations,
Exactly.
you ain't worried about happiness and what's happening because you have joy and you have the love of Christ right there in your heart.
Exactly.
And that takes you to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And that's the level we want you all on.
Exactly. So when we're talking about I deserve to be happy, just know there will be times that you will be happy. I'm not saying that, no, don't even try to be happy. Just be gloomy and sad. I'm not saying that, because the point is that I do want you to have joy in your marriage, which is so much better
God
than
wants
having
you to have
happiness.
joy in your marriage.
You know, I want you to be able to, in spite of the things that are happening around you, in spite of we may not have enough money to
Right.
pay all of the light bill this week, but we can say we have each other, we still have lights, we can pay whatever we can, and we can make payment arrangements for the rest. Yeah. And we can still be excited about being together and having a home to come to and having lights, period. So when you have joy, you're not looking at the outside circumstances and saying, this is going to make me sad.
Right.
You're actually looking at, God has given me the capability to do what I can.
His many provisions.
And in spite of what I can't do, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I often say, when it comes to your relationship, you should not be all miffed and twisted and mad about sex and money. Have sex unless there's some health conditions. Mm-hmm. Have it often and enjoy it and take your time with it. And then if money comes to money, either you got it or you don't. Mm-hmm. And that is it.
So next steps for I deserve to be happy.
Next steps.
Every time you feel like you have the urge to be unhappy or be sad about your relationship and you want to seek something outside of God and your marriage to make you happy, whether that is alcohol, whether it is drugs, whether it is another person, or whatever it is, if you have that urge to seek something outside of Christ and your marriage for your happiness, I want you to go to Christ and pray about that situation and ask him to keep you.
Yes.
And to keep all temptation away from you. And then I also want you to talk to your spouse about it.
Right.
So,
and that includes retail therapy.
Exactly. Yes. Shopping.
Exist.
Yes, exactly. So anything outside of your marriage, anytime that you feel sad and you feel the urge to go seek something outside of Christ and your marriage for your happiness, for you to be not sad anymore, or for you to have
to change your emotional state.
Something fulfilled because you can't get it fulfilled in the home or with Christ. I want you to go to your spouse and talk to them about that, and I want you to take it to Christ
and
pray about it.
Deep, quiet prayer. Go to a quiet place and let him talk to you and minister to you.
Exactly.
You can read his word to get you in the right mindset, and then just sit still and listen as that word ministers to you.
Exactly.
Keep God in the midst of everything you got going on. You can't go wrong.
Exactly. And again, we're talking about session 7. I deserve to be happy, from our new book, Intimacy, Growing Closer Every Day.
We got a book, y'all. It's called Intimacy, Growing Closer Every Day. And there's this beautiful woman on the cover. Whoa, she fine.
That's all we have for you today. Thank you.
See you all next week. Take care. God bless you all. Sugar, please. See y'all later.
Peace.
Cut! See how that new light bulb right there, baby? How bright that joint is?
I guess.
I'm bleeding all in the eyeballs.
Okay, are we doing? You're done? All right.